Hi and welcome to Equipment Share. My name's Eli. I'm a shop technician here at this location. Up front in our lobby, you're immediately greeted by our general manager, our rentals coordinator, and our parts salesman. Through here, you can access all the different kinds of equipment that we sell out, all dozers, excavators, lifts, and anything else that we can get our hands on essentially. Our parts will call allows you to talk with customers on making sure that we can look up through parts books, making sure that the customer gets the parts that they want, and that it goes as speedily as possible. As we go back here towards our shop, we're going to start to realize that we have our service manager and our service writer back here, both of which deal with customer inquiries, inquiring about any maintenance or services that they can do to their own equipment through our Takeuchi and Link-Belt sales, as well as any Genie, Skyjack, or any other machine that we deal out. We are an international dealer for a lot of different kinds of brands. First thing we're going to do whenever we get in here is we're going to make sure that we have our high-vis protection on. So whether it be in our uniforms or in a safety vest like this one. We try to prioritize safety up here to make sure that everyone gets home the same way. And that includes any kind of lifting or moving of machinery or objects. We make sure that we always keep eye contact with one another and that we communicate when there's a heavy load or a heavy lift coming and going. As we move out into our shop, we start to see that that's really the heart of our business. Any new equipment, any sold equipment, any rental equipment comes through that shop in order to do sales, for inspections, for repair, for maintenance, or just preventative maintenance in general. Welcome to the shop. In this area here, this is where we do all of our repairs, maintenance, and other sections. We do everything from full in-depth diagnostics and repairs on Takeuchi skid steers. We'll have telehandlers, we'll have AC units come in, we have generators, we have aerial lifts, we have boom lifts, anything and everything that we can work on, we do. It doesn't matter if it's customer owned or owned by Equipment Share itself. Through here, we also use our tracker app a lot, or the T3 app. We can monitor data coming on and off of our machines, such as hours, error codes, any previous work orders done, and any locations that it's been at. So if it's been in an area that has a lot of high concrete dust or has a lot of mud issues or anything else like that, we know what issues to look at before we start getting into it. It makes our diagnostic time a lot shorter, and it makes the job a lot easier on us as technicians. In here, we basically have our technicians, which work on the machines, and then we have our yard workers, which go out and do inspections. They pull machines off of trailers. They make sure everything's fueled up, and they make sure that everything's ready to rock and roll. We also have our drivers that come and frequent in here pretty often. They deliver equipment and bring it back to us. They make sure that whenever the equipment goes out, it has everything the customer needs, and that all the requirements are met by the rental instructions. We have a vast variety of different kinds of equipment that we work on, different brands and everything else, so you really never know what's going to come into you whenever you come into the shop today. So you'll have a telehandler one day, you'll have another kind of telehandler a different day, you'll have Takeuchis, you'll have Link-Belt excavators, Sany excavators, you'll have heaters, and you'll have coolers, you'll have anything and everything that you can really think of. That's kind of what we cover here. Another great part about our parts department up front is they communicate with us both through our Link app, which we do our work order pictures and notes from, and we also do all of the part requests from, and we can also go up and talk with them. So if they don't understand what part we need, and we can't get access to a parts book from where we're at and we need their access, we can do that as well. A lot of the great things about having our service manager right up here as well is whenever I come in and I don't fully understand what's working on this work order or what the customer complaint was, I can go up and ask him about that. On further back, you'll see as we move out to the yard, we also have our wash bay. In our wash bay, washing off equipment, detailing sales equipment, and anything else like that. Throughout this section on the other side of the yard that you'll see whenever you go out there, we have our sales department. So we have attachments, we have Takeuchi and Link-Belt like I've mentioned. We have resales, we have everything else like that. We also get demo equipment up here. Everything that goes out to another branch in the Missouri area comes through us first. So everything that we buy for demo, if we buy new equipment, whatever else comes here. So we are really the first stop for all of the other branches to make sure that everything that leaves here already has a tractor installed. Make sure that we have all of our oil and fluids up to date. Make sure that it function tests. Another big thing about this shop out here is the communication between other technicians. So when we come out and we get stumped on a problem, we can walk across the shop and talk to another tech that's worked on those kinds of equipment before. where I can go across and say, hey, I'm having this issue with this Takeuchi. I've only worked with him for a little bit. Well, he's worked with him for 2 or 3 years now. He probably knows the answer right off the top of his head if it's a common issue. Same with Genie, same with JLG, Skyjack, Howlett, any of the other brands that we service and work on. The community up here allows us to feel as a team rather than different co-workers working on different projects. It also allows us to speed up our process so that we don't feel bogged down or drained by whatever project that we're working on. Another one of the really neat things about the shop up here is all the different kinds of supplies that we actually do ourselves in shop. So we make our own hydraulic hoses, we make our own trackers and electrical harnesses when we need to. We have all of our parts already stored out front so that when we need to go out and grab them, our parts representatives can go out and snag them before we have to go out and find our own part numbers, and we have to deal with the parts order list on our Link Work app for any kind of work order. The parts representatives up front expedite any kind of process that we need for shop supplies and for equipment supplies for repairs, for parts, for whatever else we need.
Starting out on the yard, when you come out of the building, on your left, you're going to see the customer equipment, the pieces of equipment that need to be washed, and any drop-offs or staging equipment that we have to go out on the next rental. As you move around the side of the building, you'll see the wash bay on your right and the large stack of scissors, which we keep charged, plugged in, and we make sure everything is functional. And they only go back here if they've been green tagged and finished for inspection. After we pass the scissors, you'll notice that we have our fuel island and the equipment aisle for all of our ready-to-go equipment. Truckers will either drop off on the left or the right side, and they'll make sure the equipment is not damaged, make sure it's fueled up and everything else whenever it comes off of the trucks before it goes into the center island, where we'll come and pick it up, do an inspection in the shop. Back here, we're also going to have all of our equipment that we have on the lot at the moment. That includes any customer drop-offs, all of our boom lifts, scissor lifts, rough terrains, excavators, skid steers, rollers, generators, furnaces, anything and everything that we can get on the lot to be able to rent out to people. There are a lot of different opportunities we have here at Equipment Share. From yard techs and wash guys, to drivers and deliverers, to technicians, to shop foreman, shop manager, general manager, parts positions, service writers. There is an endless number of opportunities at Equipment Share, especially at our branch in particular. Here at this location, everything that's new comes to us first. That includes our retail units, which you can see just up the island on the left next to the other building. Those are going to include all of our Takeuchi and Link Belt pieces of equipment and any other brands that we send off to other branches or we keep for ourselves. This is where we get them checked in, trackers installed, and any other updates or anything they need to be done. Checking the fluids, make sure they operate properly, and that there's no issues with them. At the end of the day, Equipment Share is a team community. We work closely with one another, and we make sure that everyone goes home at the end of the day happy, safe, and healthy.